Hello, YouTube. My name is Alan, and it's that time once again. Let's talk metal. Today we're going to open some heavy metal. Not very much. I've got one CD, but it's one that I was pretty happy to find. Got it for a decent price. So, snippy snippy. Let's open this up and check out what we've got. I actually haven't opened it ahead of time this time because some of you sick little monkeys seem to prefer it when the package is still sealed when the video starts. And they say I'm a sick little monkey. But yeah, let's see what we've got in here. See, this is the problem with opening them live. I feel like you have to keep talking to fill the space, because otherwise you're just watching me try to operate a pair of left-handed scissors, which just cannot be that compelling. There must be other better things to watch. Okay, this one's sealed up pretty good. So how about that local sports team? Oh, whatever we can do here to kind of fill the time. Anyway, I have gotten through the pile of CDs that I got a few weeks ago in the massive box, and I'm caught up on all my record show purchases too. So just got one little CD here to listen to. I think I can handle that. What did we get? I've been keeping an eye out for this one. It's one of the CDs that's become kind of annoying to find at a good price. Copies will show up, but it seems like, people are wanting, $20, $25, $30 or more for it. And I don't quite get why. It doesn't sound like something that should sell for that much to me. But it's out of the package. So what we're talking about here is the Demonaz album, March of the Norse. So kind of, the solo album he put out. Pretty sure it's the only one he's done so far. Haven't heard this in a while, but when I checked it out, I remember thinking it was quite good, very much in line with Immortal material, of course, but, on par with the better Immortal stuff. And, again, it's a Nuclear Blast title. It's not like it's ancient. Let's see if it's got the copyright on here. Every record should put the copyright date very clearly in big numbers on the back. I've always wondered why they didn't. I'm not seeing it on here. But I want to say this was what, 2011, 10, 12, somewhere in there. So, it's over 10 years old, but it's not, archaic. But yeah, one that doesn't seem to turn up all that often given its age. This is the kind of thing in my brain you should be able to hop on eBay or Discogs, and there should be like 40 copies of it for like $7 a piece. It's more like there's like maybe 8 copies of it, and most of them are over $25. And it's just like, why is that? I guess I know the answer. It's out of print. It's a relatively popular artist. A lot of people dig Immortal and want all of the stuff. And as such, the price has gone up. But yeah, looks like it's in pretty clean condition. I was happy with the price this one turned up at. It was a lot less than normal. If I remember right, it was a slightly different pressing. There's something weird about that, although I'm not noticing anything too weird. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. I think it's the Scarecrow pressing, which I believe is Mexican, Central American. So maybe the packaging and stuff is slightly different. I don't care. It's not a bootleg, and it's the same music and all that. Maybe there's a bonus track or something that's different, but I can handle that. Yes, this is Dying Sun, extra track originally written in 1998. Maybe it's on all versions. I don't know. Anyway, glad to have it to add to the Immortal stuff. And there we go. Package is open. Hope you had fun. Maybe it was educational. Bye. Oh, wait, there's another box over here. Guess I should open this one too. Oh, I'm a sick little monkey. Sick little monkey. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm so totally going to throw a vendor under the bus here. This box, which is also sealed, so let's open it up and talk to you while we kill some time here. Try not to cut myself with a pocket knife. Yeah, this box is from Nameless Grave Records. Cool label and distro. Nameless Grave carries a pretty interesting selection of stuff. They have a lot of, black and death metal and stuff that people are often looking for. But Nameless Grave is also better about stocking some of the cool epic metal titles that come out. And that's stuff that not a lot of distros load up on. So I like the variety of stuff they've got. And, I definitely keep an eye out for some epic metal titles. They've also released some cool things through their own label. They had the good release last year that had members of Raven in the band. And I'm completely forgetting the name of the band because I'm doing this at night and it's been a long day. But yeah, the new Not Raven that people were on about in 2023 is just an example of one of the things on their label. Anyway, they did sale through Nameless Grave Records a while back. They'd put everything like 25% off. 25% off is pretty good. But I was like, got enough stuff lately. There's plenty back here to play. Going to be good, not buy a single thing. And I didn't. I was a good little monkey. Then about a week later, they ran a flash sale. Apparently, they're moving to a new web e-commerce platform, and they don't want to have to shift more titles onto the new platform than necessary. So they put all the CDs 50% off. That's a 5 and a 0. Shut up and take my money. Yeah, 50% off. That's the time you start buying stuff. I believe, if I remember right, I put 14 items in the cart. One of them was sold out before I could check out. So that means I bought 13 CDs this time. If my wife is watching this, I love you, sweetie. What did I buy? Well, the next day I was trying to remind myself what I had bought the previous night. I could remember 6 of them. So, yeah, let's go on a magical journey together and see what's in the box. Because you sick little monkeys like watching other people open their mail. All right. And hey, some weeks I have more time for making content than others. This kind of thing is kind of fun to do, but it's also very easy to do. So this week at work, I don't have time to be, splicing together some complicated deep dive on a new wave of British heavy metal discographies. Without further ado, let's see what I ordered on sale from Nameless Grave. We've got first up, okay, Abysmal Grief CD. They've had this in stock forever. I've been meaning to pick it up. I've got their Ventreri album, and it's pretty good. Italian doom. It kind of leans into the cheesy organs and stuff, very horror sounding. So yeah, some people it would strike as cheesy. I kind of like it. This one is called Funeral Cult of Personality. Have not heard it before. You don't see their stuff in North American distros very often. And that's what I was saying earlier about Nameless Grave. They pick up on some cool bands and interesting titles that you don't see in a lot of other distros. Now, this isn't epic metal like I was discussing before. This is, straight up Italian doom metal. But even there, just Nameless Grave seems to have good taste. Whoever's stocking their store, they're paying attention to what albums and bands are interesting and what things other people aren't stocking very often, which makes them worth checking out. All right, on to number 2. Oh, yeah, that's right. This was one I forgot about. Amorphous, Corellian Isthmus. I had this a long time ago. It's long since been sold or traded. So not something I was looking to put back on the shelf, but again, I think this was $10, but at 50% off, that means it was only about $5. At $5, if I'm remotely interested in a CD, I'll pay you $5 for it. And this one, yes, also had the Principle of Evil EP, which I also had ages ago. Bought it at a Best Buy. I know the concept of buying, anything at Best Buy these days is weird, but once upon a time when dinosaurs roamed the earth, Best Buy carried a hella good heavy metal section. But so yeah, 2 of the Amorphous titles I no longer had. Haven't played this in a long time. I remember it being pretty good. It was just one of those things that I didn't play often and had to purge a bunch of CDs. So yeah, good for me for putting this in. Bad on me for completely forgetting I ordered it 24 hours later. Moving on, number 3. Oh, good. It's It's always fun figuring out what you ordered. Asphyx, Necroceros. Never did get around to picking this one up. This is the kind of thing that my local stores should be carrying, and they're not always good at stocking. So yeah, I had not gotten this one. Have picked up one or two Asphyx CDs lately, things closer to this end of the catalog. Been really impressed with albums like Death Hammer. And so I'm thinking it's like, it's time I paid more attention to the Asphyx catalog. I know there are certain parts of it that you got to kind of be careful about. They had a little bit of a slump. So that's one reason I've not paid much attention to them. I like the band, but I never felt the need to get all the stuff because it's like, no, some of these aren't very good. But it's time for me to wade in a bit deeper. So again, this is one of those that was like, no, I wasn't going to order it for a normal, like, $14 price, but I think they had it for 12, and 50% off means it's $6, and $6 means it's mine now. Yes, I will pay $6 for an interesting looking Asphyx CD. All right, so we've had all A's so far: Abysmal, Amorphous, Asphyx. Okay, wonder if they're all in alphabetical order. We haven't even gotten out of the A's yet. We've got some kind of little promo-y looking thing. Sure, whatever. Oh, well, next up we have another A. We have Autopsy. I don't know what this one is called. Skull Grinder. Yeah, this was just a case of there's an Autopsy album I don't have. It's 50% off. That works. That works. So yeah, Autopsy, another one, some pretty big gaps where I just wasn't paying attention to them at times. Oh, that's what this is. I guess this was like a little OBI type thing that goes with the Autopsy CD. Okay. Have not heard that Autopsy CD before. We will fix that in the near future when we get to it. All right, let's see. Do we finally move on to the letter B? Did I buy anything with a B? I did buy something with a B. We have last year's Bell Witch album, which was called, good Lord, something Shadow. Something Shadow. We're going to go with that. It's late. I'm tired. I'm already trying to read it with a magnifying glass. You know what it is. The 2023 release from Bell Witch. Bell Witch is a band I'm okay with. I'm not going to claim they're my favorite thing, but it's like they're not bad. I never felt the need to track this down last year. I think I listened to it once or twice online when it came out. So it's like, sounds like Bell Witch. Yeah, this is one that's just like one giant song too, which is a format that's, I'll admit, I'm just tough for me and my attention span to work through something like that. It's like, you remember that really cool part in the middle? Which part is that? I don't know. Was it 26 minutes, 33 minutes, 49 minutes, 19 minutes? Really hard to keep track of what's going on in that kind of thing. But hey, once again, for half off, I want to say it was 12, 13 bucks. That makes it like $6.50. That's the time I'll give it a chance. I like them enough that I'll pick their stuff up when it's on sale like that. All right. So Bell Witch. Definitely one I'll have to be in the right mood for and pay some attention to. Let's see. Also in the B's, we've got, okay, some more Italian Doom. Black Oath, with an album with a funny font and gold print on a brown background. Nothing hard to read about that. Oh, I'm not, whatever. Something, and death. Something, and death. Yes, folks, let's talk metal, where you get all the details perfectly arranged as we unbox things before bedtime. Anyway, this is a pretty good band. I have their like original demo and I have their first album. Very good traditional doom metal in kind of the Candlemass, Solitude Aeternus type vein. They don't have a ton of the Italian quote unquote weirdness going on. A little more straightforward doom than that. But I remember liking those quite a bit. I haven't played them in quite a long time, to be honest. I see their stuff from time to time, but it's always like, 16, 18 bucks. I'm like, I don't need another Black Oath album quite that bad. But when it's 50% off, that's when you get it. So cool. Be interesting to check in and see how that band is doing. Because as I said, they were quite good. Just one of them that kind of slipped, off my radar at some point. Next up. Oh, okay. Yes, this CD fixes a small mistake I made a few months ago, and I think I mentioned this on Heavy Metallurgy. Oof, probably was like in January, maybe February. I had stopped by one of the local record stores, and someone had sold it back a lot of good used heavy metal CDs, and I bought 5 or 6 things. One thing I left behind was this: Dead Congregations, Graves of the Archangels. Hey, I know the name of that one because it's printed really clearly on the back. I was just reading it. I looked at this when it was in the used bin. Just like, that could be good. Dead Congregation, is that the Death Doom band? I think that's Mournful Congregation. Or wait, yeah, this is one of those bands whose name I unfortunately get mixed up with a few others. So it's like I don't remember which band it is. I was kind of in a hurry, didn't want to sit, and try to, dial up clips on the phone or something. So I was just like, I've got enough stuff here. I'll leave it, and maybe if it's here next time, I'll buy it. So I went home. 2 days later, Kellen posted a video talking, effusively about how wonderful this album was and what a huge impact it was as sort of, the dawn of the old school death metal revival. And I'm thinking, crap. If Kellen had gotten his act together and released the video a couple of days earlier, I would have known to buy this when I was at the record store. So I went back to the record store, and of course, it was long gone. Womp womp. But hey, and Nameless Grave had me covered because this was on sale, and I actually think I got it cheaper ordering it from them than I would have buying a used copy at the local store. So it worked out just fine. And that is something to keep in mind with records. You can't buy them all at once. Some things are going to slip past you. There is always another copy out there sometime. You will have another opportunity down the road to buy the thing that got away. May take a long time, may cost you more. In this case, I was lucky that it didn't take very long and didn't cost me any more. So we'll check it out. All right, moving on to the letter E. Okay, here's a band I had completely forgotten existed, and Rick mentioned them on a video recently. I was like, oh yeah, they weren't bad. They still exist. I had no idea. I got like their first album, thought it was decent, quickly forgot it existed though. We're talking about Arab Altor. So kind of, again, epic doomy type stuff. This album is called Fire Meets Ice. Okay. So yeah, again, not a band that was on my radar whatsoever anymore, but because Rick had mentioned it and spoke positively about it, it's like, okay, maybe I should go back and check them out again. And here was a chance to do so at 50% off. Would I buy this at full price? No, wasn't looking for it that bad. But when it's on a big sale like that, we add it to the stack. How deep's the stack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we're 8 CDs in and only at letter E. Apparently, I bought a lot of stuff from the front of the alphabet this go around. This is why I normally box the stuff ahead of time. But oh well. Up next. Oh, okay. This came out last year. Thought it sounded very good. It got some good reviews. I just never saw it for sale anywhere. And now I did. It's that new CD from Left Cross. It's called Upon Desecrated Altars. This struck me as just, being, really good stuff, kind of in the bolt thrower-ish camp. But I remember it sounded a little, it's like bolt thrower with something. I don't remember what that something is, but I remembered that I liked it enough. I found it in the back of my brain as I was like, I should pick this up. I want to say Melanie over at Melanie Loves Death Metal maybe talked about this one too, and she gave it a pretty positive review. It's like, okay, so just more evidence that I was going to like it. It wasn't the only review I saw of it. There were several folks that said, yeah, this one's pretty good. So I may have actually gotten covered on Banger TV. I seem to remember Blaine talking about this one. And Blaine, although I know sometimes he gets on people's nerves, he does have pretty good taste in heavy metal overall and likes a decent range of stuff. So yes, we got the Left Cross CD for 50% off. That's 9. Still digging. Okay, apparently now we skip towards the end of the alphabet. This was another big release from 2023 that Kellen and Marty talked about quite a bit. It's The Sacred Outcry, Towers of Gold. This one, I liked it a lot. It is a very good album. It does drag a little bit. I think the band, leans on Daniel's vocals a little bit much, but there is good instrumentation stuff going on. So I think, this is an album that shows a lot of promise. Rather, I'm not as high on it as, Marty is. I'm not, singing naked in the shower in front of the world like Kellen did, but still a very solid album. The problem was when folks were sort of discovering this and starting to hype it up in the middle of last year, about a year ago, you couldn't find it anywhere. Nameless Grave was one of the few places that had stocked it, but it had already sold out. I think they restocked it at one point, but it was like $18. I'm just like, I'm a sick little monkey, but I'm also a cheap little monkey. I don't like paying $18 for a new CD and then adding shipping and stuff on top of it. So I was like, you know what? I just don't need it quite that bad. I will wait and maybe I'll pick it up some other time. Let's see. No, it may still have been 18, but at 50% off, it's only 9. At $9, I will certainly pay for a very, very good power metal album with an outstanding vocalist, even if it drags just a tad in the middle. All right, getting close to the end of the alphabet, and must be getting close to the bottom of the box. Okay, this is going to be interesting. I know very little about this band, but the right people have been talking them up. I haven't really had the chance to hear more than a few songs. This is Stargazers, Psychic Secretions, Australian band, been around for a long time. What I know about them is they had a reputation for being sort of avant-garde, black metalish stuff with a lot of very prominent bass work. That description by itself doesn't necessarily, have me, running to give somebody my credit card. However, Kellen, once again over at Kellen for Company, has talked, about this band with high praise. Also, the guys over on the Radical Research podcast, Jeff Wagner and Hunter Ginn, have both talked very glowingly about this band and this album in particular. So it still wasn't the kind of thing I was like really looking for, but there's still room in the back of my brain to kind of store these little nuggets when people are that I kind of agree with their tastes. When they talk about an album and give it a big, strong 2 thumbs up, there's a file cabinet back there in my head, and I remember these things. So when this was on sale from Nameless Graves, I'm like, you know what? Why not? We've already got a stack this big. One more is not going to matter. We'll give it a try. Don't really know what to expect. It may not quite be in my wheelhouse, but if Kellen and Hunter and Jeff like it, I'm either going to, there's a decent chance I'm going to like it. There's a small chance it's just not going to be my style. And there's a medium chance it's going to go completely over my head. I'll just be like, this is just really neat and complex, and I don't quite get it. That is another possibility. But when it's 50% off, I can take that chance. All right, we're still digging. Okay, this one I'm quite excited to check out. I can't pronounce it, but I can buy it. It's an album by the Chilean band Unaspruchlichen Kulten. It's as close as I'm going to get. It's a made-up book from the H.P. Lovecraft universe. Although I believe someone pointed out to me this particular book was mentioned in one of Robert Howard's Conan stories. They kind of would give little Easter eggs from each other's work here and there in stories. And the name is even more messed up because it's meant to be a German name, but it's mistranslated. It's supposed to mean unspeakable cults, but unausprechlichen is not the right verb tense or something in German. They kind of dropped the ball on that. So yeah, the name actually doesn't quite translate the way it's supposed to. It doesn't matter because you can barely pronounce it to begin with. Anyway, this album has a title that, we're just not even going to try to pronounce. deal with this band. They have a new album out this year. I think it's called Haxon Sabbath. It's a much easier to pronounce name. It's a really good album. It's one of my favorite releases from 2024 so far. Simon reviewed it over on the Heavy Metallurgy channel. I had heard it even before Simon reviewed it. She's like, this is really good. And Simon says, I'm reviewing it. I'm like, you should totally review that because it's like totally good. And Simon's like, I know. And, it was a thing. So I'm looking to hear some more of their other stuff. This is one or two albums earlier. I'm not very familiar with their catalog. I think they've got 5 or 6 albums. The new one may be the 6th. And so this one's maybe around album number 4 or 5. Again, when I'm pulling stuff out of the box, you're not going to get the most accurate rundown of details here. Don't even know what year it is. 2016, plus or minus, probably. But if it's anywhere close to the new album in terms of quality, I'm going to enjoy this and enjoy it a lot. Is that 13? No, there's something still down here. We've got the last CD. Let's come after the letter U because these have been alphabetical. Oh, okay. Yeah, yep. We've got something from Winds of the Black Mountains, US black metal band. This one I think is like a collection of stuff. It's called Summoned by Shadows. And yeah, trying to glance at it. It looks like, yeah, this is like a collection, it has like a lot of different demo recordings and stuff like that on it. Maybe stuff from splits, I don't know. Wind of the Black Mountains didn't release a lot of stuff. I have the album they did, which is called something like Sing Thou Unholy Servants. It's got an interesting cover, kind of an unintentionally hilarious picture on the insert. But I like it pretty good. It's a really interesting early US black metal album that very much does its own thing. It wasn't trying to be just, an Americanized copy of anything from Europe. So liked that. Saw this. It was $10. I probably wouldn't have paid $10 for it. Oh, but wait, it's 50% off. That means it's only $5. And that means it's mine now. So for $5, I'll be glad to check out some other Winds of the Black Mountain stuff. Box is empty. That's probably a good thing. So we've got 13 CDs from Nameless Grave Records and a Kicker Demonaz CD from a random seller on Discogs who had it priced for a much, much better amount of money, which made me happy. So I just got caught up on everything else, and now there's 14 CDs staring at me. I guess it's time to wrap this video up and start listening to stuff. So let's talk metal in the comments down below. Comments, feedback, any of these good? There are some things here I'm kind of blind buying. So did I mess up? Did I buy the wrong album by certain bands? Did I stumble into some really good stuff? Feel free to leave a comment down below, let folks know. If there are good sales going on in other places, feel free to spread the word. When I saw this sale from Nameless Grave, I was like, ooh, I should maybe make one of those little community posts on YouTube to let folks know. It was kind of a flash sale thing. I think it lasted like 48 hours, and I didn't even get to order anything until like the end of the first day. So it was almost done by the time I even was on. Yes, I guess I could have done it on my phone. I was busy that entire day, didn't even think of it. So didn't get the word out there, but hey, you can help spread the word to other folks so they can find more cool stuff and be a sick little monkey like me. Or not. It's not quite where that was supposed to go. Anyway, leave your comments down below. If you think I need therapy, feel free to leave a name of any free counselors who can maybe talk me out of this CD buying tree. Hopefully this will be the last pile that I buy for a while. We've heard that before. Until next time, everybody take care. And as always, keep buying more CDs. I mean, banging your head. That's what I meant. Sick little monkey.